that urges you to call them. Loved ones who have passed can also visit us in our dreams and bring us future messages for ourselves or for someone else. This is because this is the easiest way for them to communicate in person. There's an old saying, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Beware of jealous friends, as thoughts are also energy. Bad intentions can send us negativity that can manifest in our dreams. This could be a warning of future problems down the road for your friendship. On a brighter note, future events that can brighten our day can also be manifested in our dreams. Some messages come in a form of symbols, such as dreaming of rivers or springs with fish. This often means good fortune or that money can come. Premonitions, unlike predictive dreams, can take many forms. They can appear in your dreams or as images in your mind's eye while you're awake. It is said that our spirit has many different parts or different versions of ourselves, each version existing in its own astral plane. While we go about our everyday lives, they travel through many timelines, gathering information from the future as well as the past. This, amongst other sources, gives us the gut feeling that is known as intuition. Although some people are more prone to having premonitions than others, we all have them and are capable of honing this skill. The first step is to acknowledge when they're happening. As society has programmed us to limit our understanding of the capabilities of our conscious mind, we're going to go over some tips of confirming a dream happening or when a premonition is happening. Premonitions are more vivid than normal night or daydreaming, or any images caused by reflex responses from your fight or flight system. A good example of a physical reflex response is if you're driving down the road and there may be animals that you're not actively looking at in the background. A thought or an image comes to mind of the exact animal that's actually around you, and then all of a sudden, you look for them as you're consciously aware of their presence. On the other hand, if you're driving and you have images come to your mind of an animal on the side of the road, which give you a feeling of urgency, although there's nothing around you, and then later in your trip, you find the exact same scenario playing out, this is when you find yourself surrounded by animals and the effects of a premonition. Also, premonitions that appear in dreams will always be more memorable, like the feeling of being in paradise or your favorite vacation spot, as you will take the sensations with you when you're awake. The scenarios in these premonitions are usually scripted out like a movie. This is different than a normal dream, as most dreams are random and forgettable. Another note is that if the scenario has nothing to do with any recent experiences, this can also help you rule out the notion that it's just your subconscious processing repressed emotions. Once the obvious is properly debunked, it is then we can expect the premonitions that we have to play a part in our future. At this point, it will be necessary to keep the knowledge gained in the back of our minds in order to use it to our advantage to maintain our happiness and harmony. Now let's talk about angel numbers. Okay. So angel numbers, and if you want to check out my angel numbers revealed video, I love angel numbers. Okay. They are the most simple but complicated thing. Okay. I love them. Angel numbers transcend religion, any religion. Okay, angel numbers are just one form of that the universe communicates through synchronicity. Okay, Angel number 777. That is the divine number, the divine uh, high vibrational number that everyone wants to get to. When you hit 777 in any place, especially here in Vegas, on the machines, it's luck. So at 777, you know, that's the divine number there. But anyways, angel numbers are one way that the angels use to communicate with us. Some people will tell you that, okay, it's new age. No, it's not new age. It has always happened. Let me tell you my experiences with um, mindsets behind looking at angel numbers. Okay. Literally, when they say you are, if you're in a lower vibration, right, there are things that you won't experience or understand. It is true. I want you to mentally walk with me down this path. And in that path, I want you to picture several different roads. Okay. You have a lower road here. Okay. You have a higher road, and you have a road that makes a cross, and you have another. You can just picture a regular bridge on the highway that has many different, a turnpike. Florida has turnpikes. You could imagine some little bridges, whatever, right? Picture that thing, right? Now, if we are in a lower vibration or that lower world, a lower path, okay, and you drive under, right, what's called a bridge or whatever of that higher path, when you align yourself right up under that bridge, if someone was to go and tell you that there was a semi truck that just passed you on that bridge, like up here, right? You would say, that's ludicrous. A semi truck, number one, what are you talking about? There's not even, I don't even see past this bridge. I'm up on this bridge, right? You're going to say it's ludicrous. You can see already where I'm going, right? But if we took a higher path, right? Maybe the bridge is here and you're on the one maybe about right here. And someone told you a semi truck passed on this bridge, you'd be like, you know what? I thought I did hear something. I seen a square, or I seen a long color, or like a white triangle and some red in the front because the semi truck was red, you know, and it had the white trailer in the back, right? Now, you did not see it in detail, but you saw more than you did when the bridge was here and you were down here, when you were under it. This is how literally life paths, synchronization, and angel numbers work. Literally, that's how it is. I am constantly seeing multiple repeating numbers all day, literally all the time, everywhere. I'm interested in what they're saying about them. Andra. Okay, so um, what numbers are they? Like, what are they? 444s, um, 1111s? Are they in a what you call a palindrome, like a 999? 999 usually means, okay, usually means an ending of a cycle, okay, ending of a cycle and the beginning of another, okay. Now, to answer Audra's question, okay, those repeating numbers, if they repeat, there's one or two things. From my experience, and I'm gonna let you know, I love angel numbers, and they always happen. Angel numbers came to me in several different ways. Number one, if you have already had your spiritual awakening, right, you may see angel numbers like 1111, 211, 123, 311. Okay, this is very helpful. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 means you're usually means that you're either in a building pattern, like say for example, you started something and you're building to a means to a great end, right? Or a great goal, right? You may not have gotten there yet, but you're in the right direction. 1212 usually means that you're being encouraged. When 1221, excuse me, comes to me, or 1212, 1221 comes to me when it says, when they're congratulating you, they're like, at a boy, because they're saying, after I accomplish something, they'll say literally, how would it say? It will say, no matter what you do, you will always be rest assured that you will always get what you want because you always pop to your feet. It'll tell you something good about yourself. Like when your mom or your dad says, hey, you know what? One thing about you I liked, that when the chips are down, you do certain things. That's normally what 1221, when it comes to me, that's how it comes. Now, 1717, right, is a little bit, can be a little bit different because 1717, you may have to look at the number individually. Okay. When you do 1717, numbers like that sometimes are just general synchronicity, right? When you look at them, right, it may or may not have a specific meaning. They always have a meaning, but it may not be specific. Like, for example, right after I meditate, right, right after I meditate, when I see the 111, 211, 311, 411, right? They may not be telling you something specific. It means that the synchronicity, the universe has marked that you're on a path and it's keeping like a stopwatch. The synchronicity is a stopwatch. 111, 211, 311, 411. And if you look at them, they may be general messages of encouragement, right? 1717, right? When you look it up, look at the individual numbers, okay? And when you look at those numbers and you see messages that they may write on Google, because there are normally several different uh, messages you get, think of what you were last feeling before you saw the number. Now, for anyone who has saw that movie, I forget what it was called with Meg Ryan. So I'm dating myself. I'm 46 with Meg Ryan and Nicolas Cage. I want to call it City of Angels. I think it was called City of Angels. It was in the 90s, but it was a good example of what happens when you get an angel number. And I say this because I'm going to explain why they say think of what you were feeling or thinking before you saw the angel number. This is how the universe gives you an angel number. When you see the angel number, right? Say I look at an angel number, it's 843 over here, right? And all of a sudden I look at the angel number and it tells me, okay, this angel number meant a certain message. 9 times out of 10, 5 minutes before then, the universe, the spirit guide, an angel, or something literally has whispered it in your higher self, has whispered it to you. And then you felt it, and then the angel numbers come as confirmations. I have an album in my gallery just for them all. They're there all the time, 24-hour choice. It means, yeah. I can look them up by phone exactly. So that's one thing I can identify with you. I can identify with you. That's one thing to note about angel number that most people don't know, right? Is that when an angel number comes, most people look at it as the message, right? It's not the message, the angel number. It is the confirmation of a message that was already spoken to you. Literally, they literally come to your ear, or they send you something from above, and they will tell you something a time before that, and maybe 5, 10, 15 minutes later, the angel, you'll feel it, right? And then 5 minutes after that, the angel number comes. Why did I say that? I say that because of this. Remember the analogy, right, that I said about the bridges, right? And to repeat, if you have a path of synchronicity, right, and you have a bridge up here, and you pass through, and you align yourself right up under that bridge, and someone told you there was a semi truck up here, you say, hey, that's ludicrous. But if you pass here, okay, and someone told you there's a semi truck, you see a little bit more. And you say, wait a minute, I didn't see the whole truck, but I see where you're going with this. But if you're here, I seen the truck too. So this is why, this is the importance of when they say you must meditate or do whatever, right? Do whatever floats your boat to put yourself on a higher vibration, okay? Because it literally brings you up here to see that semi or whatever message, and it will get to the point where you won't have to rely on the angel numbers anymore, right? We're going to be looking at them because it seems obsessive, because when someone is constantly 111, 211, or and even the higher you are in your vibration, they get more close together. Like they start from maybe every day to every hour, and then every 10 minutes, 111, 121, 131, 141. That means that you have raised your vibration, right? So after a while, when you get your vibration so high, right, and you're able to see that semi truck, it won't be just the angel number you see. It's going to be message, feeling. Oh, that makes more sense now. And then you'll see the angel number. And then you'll be able to agree with the angel number. And then it's going to be message, feeling, vision. It will literally turn, for me, I've experienced that. It will literally turn into a flash in your mind about what that angel number is trying to tell you, because obviously we know that the spiritual world talks in telepathy. And if we're on that lower vibration, we cannot hear their telepathy, right? But the higher the vibration is, the more we can hear the message. Picture when someone goes in there looking for ghosts, and the ghosts have always been there. I'm talking about one of those paranormal investigators. The ghosts have always been there, right? And they're going in there like they're going to find a ghost. Okay? This is in our myopic view, right? We say, I'm going in to find a ghost. Well, as soon as you step in there, the ghost is looking at you like, hey, and the ghost is like, well, wait a minute, why are you yelling? Who's in here? Is anybody in here? Can you send me a message? Move something. Send me a message. And the ghost is like, you know why? Because they've always been sitting there looking at you. So what do they have to do? They don't have the vibration necessary to communicate with them, so they take out their tool. And then they take out their tool, and the ghost has been trying to talk to them. And the ghost might have said, hey, I need help. I need a priest. I need whatever, right? Whatever. I saw that in one of the paranormal. And in the little machine, it comes up as help, priest, right? It got part of the message. That's what happens to us when we're on a lower vibration. You may have prayed for an answer to something, and you're like, well, wait a minute, I've prayed, but it hasn't answered me yet. And then everywhere you go, there was this sign, or there was this angel number, or there was literally something like, for example, uh, you may have wanted to reunite with a loved one or whatever, right? And you pray to God, you say, Lord, I want to reunite with this person. And, why is it that, you know, this person has been taken out of my life temporarily? And immediately you get your answer immediately. Many times you really do. An answer, for example, could be, well, because right now they're on their spiritual journey and you're on your spiritual journey, and there's something that you both need to learn before you guys can come together in harmony. But right now, um, the way the cards align, you guys need to walk your own path and reconverge later, right? But what you get, what we actually hear, is either nothing, or we see signs pass us by, angel numbers pass us by. And if you're on a little bit higher vibration, you may get something like an angel number on your side that says you're walking a spiritual journey. And you're like, I'm walking a spiritual journey, and there's some things that I need to work on. But what does that have to do with why I'm being kept apart from my loved one? Because you didn't hear that they were on their spiritual journey too, right? So usually the universe has to send another angel number, another sign later on, right? To recon or have to wait. You have to wait on divine timing to be able to say, oh, well, wait a minute. Now that I've talked to this loved one or whatever occurrence happened, looking back on it, I see what the angel number was getting at, right? Because when that message came in, we were not on a higher vibration, so we got part of the message. So I won't keep beating that horse, but essentially, that is the mindset, right, behind looking at angel numbers and synchronicity. Okay, so some tips on it. If you're meditating, many times it's going to give you a certain number. 1010 may come up. Whatever number that applies to you, it's going to come up. As you higher vibration, many times, right, you may get an angel number that's in a pattern. You're right. You don't have to always check them, because if they're in a pattern, if they're in a pattern like that, that means that you're in a higher in the vibration needed to just ask and stay quiet. And if it's not revealed to you, then it's going to be revealed to you in a dream or in vivid detail, right, later on. Angel numbers are all around us. They can appear on license plates, building numbers. They can appear in nature, when we're chatting with friends, or even in our dreams while we're sleeping. They are the universe's way to tell us important messages about our lives, a message that breaks barriers of language and cultural beliefs. In this video, I will be explaining some of the little-known facts about angel numbers, sequences, and tips on figuring out if a number is indeed a message, and what to do when you find an angel number. Although numbers exist such as 123, which means spiritual advancement, 444 and 1111, which mean angelic protection, and twin flame or soulmate numbers that start and end with the same number, such as 212 in 2020, angel numbers don't necessarily have to follow a specific pattern. One helpful tip to determine if you're indeed seeing a message from the universe is that angel numbers give you the feeling that time is slowing down as it lingers in front of your eyes. It's like that digital clock that doesn't seem to change its time. And there's usually an additional sensation in your gut to pay attention. The best thing to do after seeing an angel number is to look it up in your favorite search engine and remember the last thought you had or what you were doing before you saw it. When you see the same number on a regular basis, this means that there's something urgent that applies to you. If you see angel numbers in a constant sequence such as 111, 211, and 311 that seem to increment every 10 minutes, it means that you have been put on call by your guardian angel. And although nothing urgent is happening now, more specific messages will come as you advance in your life path. When you look at these numbers and you look them up in your search engine, those numbers will usually be filled with general words of encouragement. Angel numbers will happen at a closer time interval as your vibration gets higher and you are promoted, if you will, in your life path. For example, you could see angel numbers once a day and suddenly once an hour, and then all of a sudden in a pattern of every 10 minutes. This is a blessing as it means that you are strengthening your connection with your guardian angel and or your higher self. Thank you for staying into the end of this video. I hope you found the tips from my personal experience helpful. Be sure to like and subscribe as there will be more videos to come. See you next time, and remember to let your love and light shine. Thank you for tuning into the Love and Light Studio channel. My name is Jerry. So who am I? I'm a person just like yourself trying to do his part to raise the vibration on this planet. Some of the things that will be discussed on this channel are topics of spirituality, the paranormal, energy healing, light working, healing crystals, you name it, we're going to be talking about it. Some of the topics and subjects may be a bit provocative, but all in all will serve for the greater good and raising awareness on this planet. My objective when I created this channel was to help individuals such as myself that are going through their spiritual journey to embrace their gifts, embrace their self-worth, and able to be more productive in joining the collective in order to help heal the planet. So I invite you to look at my video, look at my content, like and subscribe, and we'll go from there. So thanks for tuning in, and as always, love and light. So as a human race, we have taught ourselves to limit the far reaches of the divine or the universe or God, or however you refer to it, to a book or a time of the week or a holiday. And we've created religious hierarchies with titles, with leaders that teach us that there's only one way to the divine. There's only one way to communicate with the divine, with a certain prayer that has a beginning and a middle and an end. And while some of this one-size-fits-all teaching works for some, for others, it has fueled hypocrisy. And this is what it's saying, there's a time and place for everything comes into play in form of the catch-22. We as a people, on certain times of the week, we represent our divine purpose. We represent love and light. And in other parts of the week, we represent negativity. I've had various people that I witness to, or when I'm doing my light working duties, tell me that they were from the LGBTQ community and they were discriminated or disowned or excommunicated by the very leaders who actually had family members in the same LGBTQ community or were actually in the community themselves. Now, some came to me saying that they were rejected for using certain gifts, like they're using gifts of healing, gifts of prophecy and astrology, tarot reading, and things like that. And they were discriminated against because it was seen as an abomination, even though they were using it for good. And the people who were doing the discrimination were doing things behind closed doors that did not serve the divine purpose. We can address hypocrisy by remembering to look at our own example and how we're representing ourselves to the world. And asking ourselves, are we living our lie or are we living our truth? This includes the good, the bad, and the ugly. We never know if that person that we're judging has been sent to mirror negative traits that we should be working on. We say that God is mysterious as if we have a concept of just how mysterious God is. And then we're surprised when that mysteriosity turns the tables on us. I've seen people that were sent children that represented the very thing that they were discriminating against because they thought it was an abomination. In order for them to be able to learn unconditional love and understanding. As for spiritual gifts, my relationship with the divine has taught me that we all have them. And what really matters is intent and end result. I live by the mantra that ignorance breeds division, knowledge breeds unity and understanding. God is in all of us and in everything. And every relationship with God is personal. Every relationship is different. When it comes to grace and unconditional love, there are no limits to it. There are no building walls that can contain it. No specific phrases to be said to invoke it. No book that can define it. No middleman that is an authority on it. And no specific path that leads to it. Like so many that try to improve themselves, I struggled with certain traits that I didn't favor about myself. And like many, I once believed that being spiritual was about being love and light all the time, and that we need to separate our earthly needs from our spiritual needs. And I even had anxiety about the process itself and my path to self-improvement. I even struggled with the spiritual awakening idea because I felt that I was being judged by those traits, by the process itself. And so once I asked the universe the question, how can I learn to accept myself when this process is making me feel judged? Later, I was shown the areas where the judgment was not coming from the process, but from myself. And I was basically not able to accept myself. It was making me feel caged, restricted, and that I was giving up a certain measure of control. I learned that we are not just consciousness and spirit, but mind, body, and spirit, and all needs to be happy in order to be balanced, especially in this physical world, so long that it does not harm yourself or others. As in one of my videos that talks about the lighter and the darker sides of ourselves, sometimes we do repress certain sides because of programming from social norms and what people are saying that is or is not taboo. But we are our essence, and the focus of spirituality is for us to be everything we are, except a better version of it. And so for that, please watch this particular video, as it will help you to discover that there are things in our darker parts of ourselves that are actually special and contribute to the whole, making us a powerful essence in this physical and spiritual world. Please enjoy and like and subscribe. Spiritual duality suggests that we all have a part of ourselves that we're proud of and bring to the light, as well as a shadow self which contains traits we'd rather hide. These traits often manifest as emotional reactions or negative behaviors, as ignoring them can lead to unresolved triggers and self-sabotage. Shadow work involves exploring and integrating our shadow selves, including repressed emotions, fears, and desires to foster personal growth and healing. Watch this video till the end as I walk through some healing tips inspired by my research as well as my own personal experiences, as by balancing and integrating our lighter and shadow selves, we connect with our unconscious mind to uncover insights and embrace self-acceptance. Don't go away. Society has taken on a judgmental, you need to stop or you need to change approach when it comes to self-improvement. This causes us to suppress traits we're taught to believe are shameful, when in reality, improving yourself is all about balance. When we recognize and face our shadow, we become whole and balanced. Our shadow self helps with boundary setting and gives us the personal power needed to create harmony with our lighter selves, without the feeling that we need to change the essence of who we are. Also, we can take control of these traits so that they will no longer affect our lives negatively. Facing your unconscious shadow requires self-awareness, courage, and sometimes the support from a therapist, but is essential for improved mental health and personal growth. Knowing your shadow side will also improve your relationships. When we can accept and understand ourselves, we are more able to accept and understand others. Your sexual energy from a spirituality standpoint is the basis for life force and creativity. Unfortunately, this part of our shadow self takes the most judgment from others. In order to liberate and balance this energy, we have to understand the outside energy influences that stimulate it. It's no secret that from childhood our sexual energy has been influenced by the media, but the biggest influence is way more subtle. It's called synastry. Synastry is the study of how an individual's energy interacts with others. Although it does not always have to do with romance, synastry is very powerful, as it can influence how we feel around a person and their physical attractiveness, as well as the potential for emotional attachment to that person. Because energy connects us all, this energy can be stimulating whether you're talking to someone over the phone, seeing them on TV, or even a photo. A helpful tip is that if you happen to have this person's birthday, for example, most of our celebrity crushes' birthdays and birth charts are in the public, you can do a comparison with your birthday to explain why you are so in love with them in the first place. Synastry does not discriminate between race, sex, religion, family status, or sexual preference. Knowing this helps explain things like, I normally am not attracted to this certain type of person, but I find this specific individual in this category irresistible. Or, although I feel like I may be judged for having feelings or attraction for this specific person, I can't help the way I feel. Lastly, I find this specific individual annoying, but I feel an intense physical attraction to them. How does this knowledge help to liberate one's sexual energy, you might ask? For example, it can help us identify the individuals in which we're interested in the total package and those that we're only interested based on the influence of fleeting, heated, sinister energy. In the case of addictions, it can help us understand that it is possible to find balance by creating a more self-accepting way to be stimulated or satisfied without limiting ourselves to one thing. An inspirational thought process I personally use to help with the acceptance of my shadow traits is to remember that one can also have too much of things that are perceived to be good or innocent, such as the scenario I like to use called the golfer and the drinker. Golfing is universally accepted to be a positive life influence, while drinking alcohol in some cases is thought to have a negative life influence. The golfer and the drinker in this scenario both have a family, but in this case, the golfer has an addictive personality and the drinker has a balanced mindset. In many family outings, the golfer is not present because they are busy golfing, which can hurt family relationships. On the other hand, the drinker likes to enjoy a glass of wine at a family get-together or have a drink or two every once in a while when they're going out dancing with their spouse or friends. This can build relationships. The moral of the story is while good and bad are relative to cultural and personal views, balance is needed in everything. The benefit of shadow work is that most of the time, our shadow traits are actually valuable parts of our personality. Your shadow doesn't just hide traits that people consider undesirable, it can also hide amazing parts of yourself, like creativity or independence. But if they're truly weaknesses, you're better able to address them when you bring them out to the light so that you can understand and maybe better manage them. For example, you have commitment issues. Every time someone gets close to you, there's a tendency to push them away. Over time, you begin to create a shadow journal to reflect on past patterns stemming from your childhood and determine that the trust issue started as a result of one or both of your parents rarely committing to plans to spend quality time with you. Even though this pattern negatively affected your personal relationships, there's an equal appreciation for the independence you've gained, which has helped you confront life challenges. You later determine there's a fear of being let down again, and your true desire is for someone to care and support you. Knowing this inspires the need to plan, to balance the need for independence in order to maintain a healthy social and personal life while maintaining a sense of self. It's hard to discuss confronting your shadow without including a spiritual phase called the dark night of the soul. The dark night in this scenario represents the hardship and pain the soul meets on the way to connect to its divinity. For example, you're excited about your plans to save money this year, and out of nowhere, your house and car starts breaking down. This puts a strain on your relationship or marriage and causes you anxiety, which affects your health. And with that comes a multiple visit to the hospital, which makes medical bills pile up, and you feel that you're at a crossroads or you're having a bad streak. This is a normal process in a spiritual evolution, contrary to popular belief, and is not happening because the universe or God is punishing us. Once you've created a plan with milestones and deadlines that are realistic for you, it is important to add self-care methods like meditation or doing things that make you feel rewarded and giving thanks to the universe for what you currently have and your accomplishments so far. This will help boost your morale and your willingness to keep improving. Before I go, I want to leave you with a personal mantra I use that may sound familiar. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Thank you for watching this video to the end. Please like and subscribe so I can continue to bringing you this great content. Thanks for tuning to my channel. My name is Jerry. A dream of strange entities wakes you up in the night. Strange noises are heard in your room. After ruling out the obvious and contacting professional help, no one can offer you an explanation. Experiences like this happen to us every day. Perhaps the causes are associated with a deceased loved one or a portal in a hallway. I will discuss these mysterious events and the causes that include but are not limited to the examples in this video. Additionally, I will talk about some tips for cleansing and balancing esoteric energies. Don't go away. If you suspect that a portal has opened in your house, it is important to approach the situation with a calm mindset. Not all portals are bad, as they can be positive or negative. These are some signs that a portal may have opened up in your home. Anything with a reflection, such as a mirror or a window, or anywhere energy can accumulate, such as spaces between furniture, can possibly serve as a portal. Unwanted energy that we bring into our home from day to day accumulates and gets trapped. Thus, aura sweeping, which is sweeping the air around you to release unwanted energies, is also useful. It is possible to clear a portal in your home or even redirect the energy for good simply by using feng shui or rearranging furniture to create space for energy flow, or smudging with sage, lavender, and rosemary. Placing selenite or black tourmaline crystals or a protective symbol in front of highly used mirrors or using a reflection ritual can replace the need to cover them.
Good shot.
Is that creaking sound just the wind, or could it be something paranormal? If you suspect you have an entity in your house, it could be something sinister, or it could be a loved one coming to visit. Here are some paranormal entity tips. Negative energies love stale, musty air and dark, cluttered spaces. This helps them to hide and surprise you when you least expect it. So a clean, fresh-smelling house is very important. Paranormal entities are known for their unusual scents, from sulfur or rotting meat to the scent of roses. Try wiping down furniture, decluttering storage spaces, and opening your windows to let in some fresh air and sunlight. Cats are natural energy transmuters and are known for cleansing negative energy, so having one around is beneficial. If you see your cat lying with their paws up, it is a good sign that they are comfy and the area has been cleansed. Everything we touch or spend time around leaves behind an imprint of energy which can be absorbed into the environment. That means if negative things happen in our home, like stress or passing of a loved one, the energy from those events can be quickly absorbed into those items and linger with them. Since it's an antique, you never really know where those items have been, who they belong to, or the energy from other people's lives that they may have been exposed to. These are some tips to clean your antiques and belongings. Before cleaning your items, set an intention that is simple, that connects directly with what you're aiming to do, and that makes sense for your personality. This will help you release any unwanted energies and make your items energetically balanced. Also, simply wiping an item down with a cleaning solution not only cleans the dirt and grime, but when done with a set intention, can also help to wipe away any residual energy that is lingering on the piece. Research is important when it comes to energetically active properties, as they can give you quite a scare when you least expect it. Before I go, I'd like to leave some tips about energetically active properties. Please remember to like and subscribe, as your subscriptions, likes, and comments give us the ability to keep providing great content. What is a light worker, right? there are, in my experience in researching living and light working, there are various different uh, misconceptions of what a light worker is. And to be honest with you, I have found that some of the light workers or the spiritual leaders, right? Actually, a lot of us were in competition, and that's not the deal. That's not the gist of what needs to happen. And so, for me, as explained in one of my light working videos, light working, right, is basically one that wants to give what he or she has, in order to help raise the collective. In one of my videos, I said um, that you could picture it as, like, for example, a classroom, right? Where you have a group of students, 20, 25 students in a class. And then you have, you know, people who are, say if it's math, because, I was average, a little above average in math, right? If it's a math class, you always have those people who excel at it. You always have others who struggle. You have, the majority that may fall right in the middle, right? And everyone in that class has the capacity to be a light worker, or excuse me, in this case, to be a helper or a teacher or a tutor in that class. But there was a few who naturally had it in them, right? Now, now taking apart, you know, what taking apart this statement I just said and relaying that to the competition I was speaking of. Thank you for joining, right? Um, Light working sometimes there we found that some of us have pride, that comes with titles, right? And I'm noticing that, for example, when you talk to someone and they don't know you, have to introduce yourself. Well, you have to tell them, a little bit what you do. What are you? I'm a spiritual healer, and that's understandable because in this world we deal with titles. Okay, but what has came of those titles is some competition, right? Some ego, and we all have ego, but sometimes it gets in the way. So when I see certain people, who maybe on YouTube, or I'm speaking to people or preachers in the church, not everybody, but some, right? They have this pedestal, right? Where, and I even used to have it back when I was a minister. I had it too, right? We're in, okay, because I was taught, well, you had a calling, right? And because you had a calling, you need to help the people. And then I'm looking at people around me at between 8 and 15 years old. And it seemed that they had this certain thing where, okay, I'm going to help you, you know, get to God and what have you. And sometimes they take it out of context, and that pride makes them or takes them off the real meaning of doing their part, if you will. And so, going back to this negative connotation, right? Light working is sometimes taken out of context. Now, what I'm getting at is, for me, right, everyone is on the same hierarchical level. There are no hierarchies, right? And you may, even though I'm not religious, I'm going to refer to, because of my background, people like Jesus. I'll refer to him because to create an analogy, right? Even Jesus, Muhammad, whoever you serve, Buddha, right? They came down in general to speak that, hey, no one is better than anyone, right? They came down to relay a message, and they said, hey, look at what I can do with faith, right? Because we're equals. If you learn, take a couple pages out of my book, you can do this too, and it will bring you closer to the universe, God, or whomever you serve, right? That's how I view light working, right? Thank you for joining. And if we think on that, in that mind frame, if we think on that mind frame, we will see ourselves as more comrades than competition, right? And my hats are off to people like yourselves who, are here today, because if you're here today, there is something that is in you that instills an innate calling, and you've heard that call, right? And it's a blessing to have you guys with me. So I wanted to talk about light working because I want to do my part in helping um, turn the competition into camaraderie, number one. I want to inspire those ones who did not know or wanted some details of what light working is, give them a little bit more insight, right? Um, let me tell you some cool things about some of my journeys in light working, right? So, uh, the synchronicities that happen in light working are amazing. Do you speak? I don't. I do not speak light language. I heard that some of the incarnate angels, right, can speak light language. Now, going off of that, let's talk a little bit about what your comment here or your question here. Um, Light workers or star seeds? Yes, I am a star seed, definitely. Um, and some people say, "Hey, speaking in tongues." When I was in church, when I was in the religious sector, yes, I spoke in tongues. Yeah. Now, not so much. What I feel like now more is a conduit for relaying messages, right? So a light. Let's go back to the light language deal. Some of the light workers are actually reincarnated angels. Others are, and you probably already know this. Others are just beings from another dimension, a higher dimension with a higher vibration that is volunteered by signing a soul contract um, to come down and help the collective. Those are the main uh, categories that I kind of am privy to that a light worker is. Well, going back to the contract, everyone who's born made a contract, and everyone has some sort of a calling and some sort of a gift so that they can be that brick that supports the house, if you will. And that house would be the collective in this case, uh, that will ultimately bring us to a higher vibration, right? So everyone has made a contract, but the light workers made a different contract that said, "Hey, I'm going to be a tutor." It's just that simple, right? Now, um, everyone having the capacity to be a light worker, that would be like, okay, well, say the tutor came down to help somebody, right? And that person, even though they may not have made a contract, like, you know what? Well, wait a minute. I understand now. Okay, uh, maybe I can take what I know that I've been tutored with and help somebody else. So I now want to be a light worker. That's the chain, preferably, that we want to happen, right? And everything. So that's what uh, my take is as far as the contracts and light working. Now, let's talk about gifts. Okay. So everyone has a gift. And just because even if the gift is not quote unquote paranormal, supernatural, everyone has paranormal gifts. Everyone has them. There is a video that one could check out called "Are You a Medium?" Right, and I don't know what zodiacs one may believe in here, but it talks about the 12 zodiacs, right, and the gifts, right, that each of the zodiacs have, and looking at that video, you'll be surprised some of the gifts you may be turned on to that you may or may not have discovered before. Thank you for tuning in. Check that out. Being a medium isn't just talking to the dead. The power of mediumship exists in us all and manifests itself in different forms. The term medium means to be in the middle between heaven and earth or between hell and earth. How we use our gift is determined at birth. Join me as in this video, we'll talk about each of the 12 zodiac signs, the mediumship skills available to them, and the things to do to help hone these skills. Stay tuned. Aries are mainly suited for magic rituals. They are known for being claircognizant and have the ability to predict future or receive psychic information without knowing exactly how the message will deliver. It can come through as a gut feeling or an epiphany. Confidence and the ability to trust that your guides will lead you down the right path are key when it comes to developing this ability. Asking for guidance from the universe and looking for signs is also a great way to play with this psychic skill. Taurists are known for having the gift of healing, especially when it comes to herbs. Also, they can pick up psychic information through items simply by holding them and being open to the vibration and the story they carry. Mediums often use this gift by holding objects that once belonged to someone who has passed on. Meditating with crystals or artifacts from loved ones that has crossed over is a great way to strengthen this talent. Gemini suns communicate primarily with young spirits and children. Gemini moons are great speakers and listeners, making them particularly skilled at being able to hear messages from the other side. This gift can be overwhelming at times, especially if your mind is super active. Ringing or popping in ears are often linked to this ability, especially if the message is trying to come through. If you feel that a message is coming through from the other side, the best thing to do is center yourself and ask what the message is. Cancers are natural mediums. They have a lot of ability to read tarot cards. Since this sign is ruled by the moon, for Cancer moons, this usually results in a pronounced empathetic ability, as they can tap into emotions of others, whether they are prepared for the information or not. Since this lunar placement is such a sensitive one, it's important to adopt a psychic defense and protection technique to avoid unwelcome emotional shifts. If you feel your mood change suddenly through the day, be sure to check with yourself if anything is bothering you. If your mind tells you the emotions you're feeling are not logically yours, you can simply call on your protection to recite a mantra like return to sender. Leos tend to look for supernatural phenomena and are often good advisors. They have the gift of creative channeling, which is the ability to pull artistic information from the other side, allowing entities from beyond to help with the project. When this ability is active, one usually feels as though they're in a zone or creative trance. With this moon placement, try lighting some orange candles before your next painting, writing, or dancing session. Also, consider doing meditation while inviting positive energy from the other side to assist you with your masterpiece. The finished product could give you information on who your spirit guides are, especially if you ask them to show themselves through your art. Virgo natives are hand-healing mediums, which means Virgo moons are often physical empaths with the ability to feel symptoms of a friend's illness, labor pains, or inconsistent energy levels. With some dedicated meditation and practice, this ability could be strengthened to form a well-rounded medical intuitive. 6 more zodiacs left. If you didn't see your main zodiac or sun sign in one of the zodiacs discussed, they could fall upon your moon or rising signs and could still explain some of your gifts that you experience. Please watch part 2 of this series and like and subscribe. Thank you for tuning in. Being a medium isn't just talking to the dead. The power of mediumship exists in us all and manifests itself in different forms. The term medium refers to being in the middle between heaven and earth or between hell and earth. How we use our gift is determined at birth. Join me in part 2 of this video as we will talk about the next 6 zodiacs, the mediumship skills available to them, and the things to do to hone these skills. If you don't see your zodiac sign in this video, please watch part 1. Libra natives are clairvoyant mediums. There's a telepathic element to those with a Libra moon sign. You'll notice this ability is more active when you're able to guess what the other person is thinking, know who's calling before seeing the caller ID, or have a song stuck in your head all day, only to find out your partner singing it in the kitchen later without having mentioned it. While this ability can add beauty and magic to your relationships, you'll want to find a psychic defense technique that works for you so that you can give your psychic some peace and quiet every now and then. Scorpios share a connection with death and rebirth. They have an inherent ability to connect with the other side, which is pronounced whenever certain energies are present. If your moon is placed under this sign, you are likely a natural medium with the ability to communicate with souls that have crossed over. The best way to hone these skills is through meditation, being open to your gifts, and honoring ancestors with candles, prayer, or even a designated altar. So next time you feel a ghostly presence in a room, try talking to it. Sagittarians are among the most creative. They visualize situations, art, and fantasy with their mind's eye. They have a natural clairvoyance which can range from vivid dreams to seeing auras and even ghosts. There's also a potential to have prophetic visions, so it's important that people with a Sagittarius moon meditate often. To hone this ability, try closing your eyes, visualizing the room that you're in detail. This sharpens your third eye to see things from beyond the veil. When you feel you're ready, ask the other side to send you orbs or help you see the auras of others. Capricorns are great at picking up details and patterns. For this reason, the universe uses synchronicity to communicate with this moon placement. To tap into the psychic ability of this moon sign, you want to be observant of any recurring symbols that find their way into your life. If you're confronted by the same song several times in one day, for example, pay attention to the lyrics and how they pertain to your life. If you notice the number 11 over and over again, you may want to do some research on numerology or angel numbers. These synchronicities may feel like a coincidence at first, but once you begin to track them more closely and decode their meaning, you'll see that there's much more. Aquarian suns generally have a keen interest in the spiritual world. When they do not understand something, they usually follow their intuition and find the desired path. They have mental magic and do not need spells or rituals. Aquarius moons often receive psychic information, seeing visions of the future, or getting information in quick flashes. These flashes of divine knowledge are often referred to as downloads, and it usually feels like a sudden enlightenment has occurred. The problem with taking information in so quickly is that it often leaves one's mind just as fast. The best way to work with this ability is to keep a pen and a notebook around so you can take notes when these messages strike. Pisces are very sensitive and help lost souls find the light. Those with Pisces moon signs have vivid and prophetic dreams. The psychic ability of this moon sign often goes hand in hand with deja vu and astral projection. Keeping a dream journal or a consistent meditation practice is important. Guidance from the other side can be received by simply asking your guides to send you messages while you sleep. Just make sure you try to remember your dreams the minute you wake up. Thank you for coming to the end of this two-part series. Be sure to like and subscribe.
The woman in the glass was there and then it was gone. It was like magic.
There's no such thing as magic.
Is that what they say?
The subject of magic gets different reactions ranging from fantasy to fear. But why is it so confusing? From witches and warlocks, abracadabra and hocus pocus, to white magic, black magic, and all the colors in between. Depending on your cultural background, different rumors are heard about if magic exists and how it affects us. Join me as I try to shed some light on what is truth and what is myth about magic based on my research and personal experiences. Don't go away. The goal of this video is to try to open minds about the magic that exists inside all of us as well as all around us, and to show how it connects us even though we may have different cultures and belief systems. So, I like to start off by giving some basic background on what magic is. The Oxford Dictionary definition of magic is the power of influencing a course of actions or events by using mysterious supernatural forces. To others, magic is the art of changing consciousness through focused will. Although the origins of magic are debated, historically, magic was practiced in various ancient civilizations, often incorporated with religious beliefs and practices, and was used for a range of purposes, including healing, divination, and influencing nature. The English word magic has roots in ancient Greece and Latin, tracking back to the term magoi, which is designated by a priestly class in Persia. In another context, magic is referred to as an illusion, where magicians skilled at sleight of hand do misdirection and various other tricks and stunts to captivate audiences. This is known as entertainment magic, although in this video we will focus on the type of magic that involves energy manipulation. Magic can use many different energy sources, but I want to go over a few that we all work with without realizing it and have access to every day. Mana energy actually comes from the ocean, according to Polynesian culture, and is the basic magical energy filling the world. A little known fact is that common table salt has crystal energy and gives the same purifying and calming effect as a selenite crystal found in a holistic healing shop. Water alone is an elemental energy and is a source that is used by spiritual and earthly planes. Did you ever wonder why people that live near the ocean seem so laid back? If you've ever been near a selenite crystal or took a salt bath, this will help you realize that amongst other things, the ocean is a giant calming selenite crystal. In some forms of magic, the life force of a being can be called to be used as fuel. Life force energy comes from your chakras and is many times used for healing rituals. I personally don't recommend using your own life force energy as it can drain and cause you sickness. It's always good to connect to an unlimited energy source of your choosing to avoid fatigue. Elemental energy such as the ones that are felt while walking through nature, or the energy that comes from the moon interacting with the water content in every living thing, while providing a light source to charge crystals, for example, are also used in magic. Despite all the evidence to the contrary, there are still many people that say they don't believe in magic or esoteric energies, that they don't exist, or that they're not from God.
Is that what they say?
Let me explain something to you. All magic is not evil or from Satan, but all magic is from the universe of God.
Never let anyone tell you different.
Or are we forgetting that God created Satan too? Let's check some similarities. In almost every culture, there's a ritual used to heal the sick, as well as expel evil spirits from someone who is possessed. When it comes to divination, which involves astrology, tarot readings to tell the future and gain insights into hidden knowledge, for example, Christians, Buddhists, Hindus, and almost every culture receive prophetic dreams or have some sort of way of watching signs from God in order to prophesy the coming future event, such as the book of Revelations talking about the signs of the apocalypse and the second coming of Christ. When most think of magic and sorcery, they think of typical looks shown in horror movies or described in rumor. So some people believe that there is a certain look one has to have to be involved in magic. The truth is, we're all unique and have unique journeys. We are born with tools and spiritual gifts that we can develop in order to fulfill that journey. The magical trick, if you will, is to identify our own unique ways of connecting with our magic. Some people are more closely tied to nature, drawing their power from the earth and other natural sources. They may focus on specific elements of areas in magic dealing with this. Others may often have abilities that are passed down through their family bloodlines, while some are more likely to learn their magic through study and instruction. Here are some tips. We all manifest every day. Manifestation is the idea that you can bring your desires into reality by focusing your energy and intentions. There are some of us who are better at visualization and creating an image of a desire, for example, and some of us who are better at feeling as if we're in the moment experiencing that desire. Once you figure out your way of manifestation, you may find that you're an effortless manifester. This means that although it's an option, it is not necessary to take a class, meditate, or use a ritual to get your desires. You just do what comes naturally to you. Here are some natural magical gifts that you may identify with. A seer is someone with the gift to perceive things beyond the ordinary, often through spiritual and supernatural means. They can have visions, dreams, or other experiences that give them insight into the spiritual realm or future events. Seers are considered to have the heightened ability to see past illusions and understand spiritual reality. A healer is someone who facilitates healing by working with the mind, body, and spirit, as they believe these three things are connected. They use techniques such as energy healing, meditation, and prayer to restore balance and harmony within an individual, and act as a vessel for healing energy, aiming to promote self-healing in others. A spiritual teacher is someone who guides others on their spiritual journey, helping them to understand and deepen their connection with themselves and the world around them. This guidance can take many forms, from providing instruction on spiritual practices to offering tips that can help individuals navigate life challenges with greater awareness and purpose. They act as a mentor or guide, supporting others in their quest for self-discovery and spiritual growth. An empath is someone who is highly attuned to the emotions of others, often experiencing these feelings as their own. This goes beyond typical empathy and can involve sensing subtle energies or even psychic impressions of those around them. Empaths are often seen as natural healers and light workers, driven by the desire to help others. Alchemists are the chameleons of this list and can have various magical talents. For example, they can be an empath knowing just the right words to say, or a healer that knows what natural remedies to make to heal someone. They help anywhere they're needed to raise vibrations and are naturally attuned to taking negative energies or situations and changing them into positive ones. They are the energetic purification artists of the world and are the masters of taking a bad situation and flipping it. Let's discuss some colors that represent magic. Some you may have heard of and others no. Black is the most mysterious color, potentially indicating a troubled or negative spirit. For myself and my family, we found that doing things to maintain a high vibration, like meditation, helps us, as it literally makes a person invisible to negative energies because the vibrational frequency is not the same. Using crystals like black tourmaline and selenite are very aggressive in repelling negative energy as it literally burns the negative spirits. Also, we can use a combination of prayer to help increase the amount of protection so we're not exposed to anything that may come our way. White magic is often associated with positive energies and guardian spirits. It represents purity, protection, spirituality, and angelic assistance. Blue magic signifies calm and a peaceful presence, possibly associated with spirits trying to communicate and inspire creativity. They can bring truth, peace, creativity, and healing. Green magic is linked to nature. It is the earth's healing properties and messages of renewal that can also be used for self-care, grounding, prosperity, and money spells. It represents nature, healing, growth, love, and earth magic. Red represents intensity or a warning or a spirit with a passionate past. It is used in love and seduction magic. It represents chaos magic, restlessness, and passion. Yellow is associated with divine messages and intelligent spirits, optimism, and encouragement. It presents awareness, willpower, and intellect. Purple and violet represent a connection to spiritual wisdom and a highly evolved spirit. It brings intuition, psychic vision, spirituality, and transformation power. Although the categories discussed are being used today, the truth is there are no actual colors to magic. What really matters is your intent and how you use it. In this world, we need all the positive magical talent we can get. So use your personal magic to better the lives of others. Thank you for staying until the end of this video. I hope it helped open minds and shut down stereotypes as the real magic happens when we come together in peace, love, and harmony. Please remember to like and subscribe. A twin flame is you in another body. They will come into your life, shake up your world, bring out the best in you through divine connection, and help you better understand the things you have to work on. Your twin flame is your mirror soul. Contrary to popular belief, the focus of a twin flame connection is for spiritual ascension and evolution, and may not necessarily be a romantic relationship. This connection challenges you to step out of your comfort zone and shed your old identity, as well as learn and grow. This is unlike a soulmate connection where two separate souls that are similar learn and grow, but does not force either soul to step out of their comfort zone or shed their identity. Join me as I share some of my own experiences, as well as answer some of the most common questions about twin flames and twin flame journeys. Don't go away. Twin flames are often considered to be amongst the oldest, most evolved souls that are in their final stages of incarnations. While old souls generally refers to souls that have experienced many lifetimes, they also can be starseeds or souls that have lived in fifth dimensional or higher planes where unconditional love was experienced. It is said that only souls that meet this criteria can choose to incarnate in the twin flame category, as the journey is very demanding. This is what makes them so rare. A twin flame is often described as the other half of your soul, though this is only partly true. A twin flame is better understood as the divine complement to your higher self or your higher soul. A popular question is, are twin flames the chosen ones? To answer this, it has to be understood that twin flames are not people who are more important, better, or valuable than others. We're all the same as we come from the same energy source. This includes humans, angels, ascended masters such as Jesus or Gandhi, and other divine beings. In regards to being chosen, one answer is yes and no. Before incarnating into this world, a single soul chooses a certain type of soul contract which contains a curriculum of things that the soul needs to live in order to advance in its spiritual journey. The twin flame contract is where a single soul splits into two different incarnations to accelerate evolution. Also, they choose to contribute to the need of being of service to new and younger souls in order to aid in the global evolution process. Think of it as when you were in school and a teacher knew you to be very good at a subject and recommended you for accelerated classes or honors classes. This is where being chosen comes into play. Then, while you were signing up for accelerated classes for the new school year curriculum, you picked one of your extra credit classes as being a tutor in order to help other classmates that would be in need. When it comes to twin flames, this is what it means to be chosen. Twin flame reunion is seen as a chance for twin flames to come together and complete their spiritual journey, often leading to a deeper understanding of themselves and the universe. The chaser is the one who feels drawn to the twin flame and experiences strong desires for connection and acceptance. They may struggle with abandonment issues and fear of loneliness, leading them to pursue the relationship. The runner is often seen as the one who feels overwhelmed by the intensity of the connection and needs space or distance to process their emotions. They may deny, avoid, or even want the connection but feel triggered by the closeness. There is a little known fact that after an initial union, there can be various separations and reunions. Even though you are living with your twin flame and are fully committed to them, there may be times where you may feel mentally or emotionally distant with each other. This comes and goes in phases of the evolution process and gives a chance for each twin flame counterpart to learn the necessary lessons and relate to their soul path before the next mental and emotional reunion. As both individuals mature and work on themselves, the dynamic can shift toward a more balanced and unified state, where both partners can love and understand each other without codependency issues in the relationship, regardless of the possibility of physical reunion. I want to share some personal experiences as to how I met my twin flame, and we often joke about this. It's how they were on my social media page and later posted a photo on their homepage hoping to get my attention. I liked it instantly only because I just happened to be browsing on their social media hoping they would post a recent photo. Keep in mind that earlier we had met through mutual friends and we had separate relationships at the time, and by chance happened to end those relationships around the same time. So our social media profiles had no association at this point. Here are some examples that you've met your twin flame. After our reunion, we found out that we had always lived within a block or two of each other, even though we would move several times within a 12-year period before we actually met. We remember feeling like we knew each other forever, and I began having flashbacks of my childhood when I had images of my twin flame that was the exact same resemblance of them when we met. We also felt a sense of belonging to each other. We talk to this day about how we met, as they were waiting at the movies for a mutual friend of ours that was running late, who sent me ahead to tell them that they would be here after a while. And I asked my twin, and I quote, "Are you waiting for someone?" You're probably thinking, what's up with the pat on the back? Well, remember when I said that we used to laugh about how we met and that we were in separate relationships at the time? Well, this is what we used to laugh about. Well, that was then, and this is now. Love can take many forms in our lives, be it self-love or even love for our artistic craft. Do we express enough love for our family, friends, or even ourselves? Can we handle the challenges of loving unconditionally? Watch to the end as I walk through a few love scenarios inspired by my research as well as my personal experiences. Don't go away. I want to start by talking about self-love, as learning to love others starts with loving ourselves. Self-love is the unconditional acceptance and appreciation for oneself, even in the middle of life's ups and downs. It is said that the hardest challenge is to be yourself in a world where everyone is trying to make you be someone else. For example, growing up you may have been bullied for not having the same material things or not looking or acting the same way that others did. The insecurities created from this carried over into your young adult life, which made it difficult to find true friends and romantic relationships as you're trying to be someone you are not. Later, you discovered that you were attracting false friends and relationships because they were feeding off the negative image you had of yourself, and you were your own worst critic. This discovery leads you to understand your values and strengths and accept any imperfections as traits that make you unique and perfectly you. You are now inspired to treat yourself with kindness and respect, and it motivates you to go out and get to know yourself and what truly makes you happy. The saying, love your neighbor like you love yourself, makes sense, as we naturally treat people according to what kind of mood we're in that day. While it may be sometimes challenging to do, especially with someone you feel you can't tolerate, in the end, it's still worth the effort. It helps me to do self-care practices like heart chakra meditation, resting, or doing something that I love for my own well-being so that I can feel more compassionate with myself and also others. It helps to remember that loving people outside of your family circle is not just for them, but to help you not feel spiritually drained from negative energy and low vibration. Although it's a thoughtful thing to do, compassion is not just helping out with food or money or doing volunteer work. Sometimes we wake up in the morning and we're not in a social mood, and that's okay. When I have a day when I don't feel motivated to do these things, I try to simply wave or hello and smile in order to inspire positivity. And I find it also helps my mood. Loving your neighbor can be as simple as being compassionate enough to realize when people just need their space and want to be left alone, or knowing when not to tune into public gossip or spreading rumors about someone whose life we really know nothing about. Also, having compassion to know that while sometimes people may struggle, everyone has their story and set of ups and downs in life. If there are feelings of resentment for a friend or a family member who has found happiness in their life, control any jealous thoughts for the sake of harmony. Remember, if we are in the business of living our best life, we don't have time to be in anybody else's business. When I think of unconditional love, for me, it applies to the people I consider family. Family is not always bound by blood, but the people that are willing to love and support you for who you are no matter what. If you love someone unconditionally, you don't keep track of who wins more fights or who gets their way more often. You may be willing to admit when you're wrong, and you don't let your pride stand in the way and you ask for forgiveness yourself. On the other hand, you also must accept that the other person is not perfect. When you love someone unconditionally, you're able to see those imperfections but choose to love them anyway. For example, kids can be a handful, but you love them anyway, and you sacrifice yourself for the good of the child's well-being. Also remember the sacrifices your parents made in your childhood, although you and your parents had your differences. Your parents raised you the best that they could with the tools that they had, as any good parenting standards change with each generation. So as we rebel and judge our parents, our kids will rebel and judge us in the future. From a kid's point of view, we want to be seen and heard, and sometimes did things in order to get in trouble just to know that our parents cared enough to respond. As a parent, I am learning this is an opportunity to nurture my relationship with my child even more. Siblings also may grow up with different personalities and goals, but there is going to be some time when unconditional love must take a priority. Unfortunately, we're living in chaotic times, and our parents are not always going to be there. Thus, our brothers and sisters may need to be our support system in our adult life. As no relationship is perfect, and I'm no romance guru, I just wanted to share a few things that have helped me and my love through the good and bad times. When hard times come, we try to remember to appreciate each other and the important role that each of us play and unite together as a team. We are mindful not to be in competition with each other as we both share the same goals. Also, it is important to do things together like dancing and traveling. Sometimes you and your love have to seize the moment to break the day-to-day routine and add a little spice to your relationship. And most importantly, try to make love, not war. Yes, I said make love. Before I go, I want to leave you this message. With so many debates on what is old age and new age religion, in the end, the one true religion that will conquer all is love. Thank you for watching to the end of this video. Please like and subscribe so we can continue to bring you this great content. In today's world, it's important to know that every contribution, big or small, it helps. So if you can do anything that you can think of that will make someone smile or make someone's day just a little bit easier, it's always well appreciated. Also, if someone comes to you and makes your day just a little bit easier, it's great to give thanks. And so that's kind of my mantra, especially for today. Every day is a chance to make a difference. When I get up, I like to make sure that my mind is in a frame where I can be productive. And at the end of the day, I take a tally of the things that I do to make sure that I did a contribution that would help change someone's life or that would move myself forward in my spiritual journey. Also, my family. You too could help make a difference by following this Rumble channel and sharing if you like any of the videos and content that is posted today. And I would like to say in advance, thank you for making your contribution and helping us make the world a better place. Predictive dreams, or dreaming of a future event before it happens, come to us all, although most of us don't realize or remember them. The reason is that when we sleep, we connect to our higher consciousness. This consciousness travels through time and brings us awareness of important events in our lives. When it comes to friends and family, there's often a telepathic connection between them, similar to a mother and child, where they can sense many emotions. This may also manifest in dreams. For example, the emotions of a loved one in need of support that urges you to call them. Loved ones who have passed can also visit us in our dreams and bring us future messages for ourselves or for someone else. This is because this is the easiest way for them to communicate in person. There's an old saying, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Beware of jealous friends, as thoughts are also energy. Bad intentions can send us negativity that can manifest in our dreams. This could be a warning of future problems down the road for your friendship. On a brighter note, future events that can brighten our day can also be manifested in our dreams. Some messages come in the form of symbols, such as dreaming of rivers or streams with fish. This often means good fortune or that money can come. Premonitions, unlike predictive dreams, can take many forms. They can appear in your dreams or as images in your mind's eye while you're awake. It is said that our spirit has many different parts or different versions of ourselves, each version existing in its own astral plane. While we go about our everyday lives, they travel through many timelines, gathering information from the future as well as the past. This, amongst other sources, gives us the gut feeling that is known as intuition. Although some people are more prone to having premonitions than others, we all have them and are capable of honing this skill. The first step is to acknowledge when they're happening. As society has programmed us to limit our understanding of the capabilities of our conscious mind, we're going to go over some tips of confirming a dream happening or when a premonition is happening. Premonitions are more vivid than normal night or daydreaming, or any images caused by reflex responses from your fight or flight system. A good example of a physical reflex response is if you're driving down the road and there may be animals that you're not actively looking at in the background. A thought or an image comes to mind of the exact animal that's actually around you, and then all of a sudden, you look for them as you're consciously aware of their presence. On the other hand, if you're driving and you have images come to your mind of an animal on the side of the road, which give you a feeling of urgency, although there's nothing around you, and then later in your trip, you find the exact same scenario playing out, this is when you find yourself surrounded by animals and the effects of a premonition. Also, premonitions that appear in dreams will always be more memorable, like the feeling of being in paradise or your favorite vacation spot, as you will take the sensations with you when you're awake. The scenarios in these premonitions are usually scripted out like a movie. This is different than a normal dream, as most dreams are random and forgettable. Another note is that if the scenario has nothing to do with any recent experiences, this can also help you rule out the notion that it's just your subconscious processing repressed emotions. Once the obvious is properly debunked, it is then we can expect the premonitions that we have to play a part in our future. At this point, it will be necessary to keep the knowledge gained in the back of our minds in order to use it to our advantage to maintain our happiness and harmony. Now let's talk about angel numbers. Okay. So angel numbers, and if you want to check out my angel numbers revealed video, I love angel numbers. Okay. They are the most simple but complicated thing. Okay. I love them. Angel numbers transcend religion, any religion. Okay, angel numbers are just one form of that the universe communicates through synchronicity. Okay, angel number 777. That is the divine number, the divine high vibrational number that everyone wants to get to. When you hit 777 in any place, especially here in Vegas on the machines, it's luck. So at 777, that's the divine number there. But anyways, angel numbers are one way that the angels use to communicate with us. Some people will tell you that, okay, it's New Age. No, it's not New Age. It has always happened. Let me tell you my experiences with um, mindsets behind looking at angel numbers. Okay. Literally, when they say if you're in a lower vibration, right, there are things that you won't experience or understand. It is true. I want you to mentally walk with me down this path. And in that path, I want you to picture several different roads. Okay. You have a lower road here. Okay. You have a higher road, and you have a road that makes a cross, and you have another. You can just picture a regular bridge on the highway that has many different, a turnpike. Before they have turnpikes, you could imagine some little bridges, whatever, right? Picture that thing, right? Now, if we are in a lower vibration or that lower world, a lower path, okay, and you drive under, right, what's called a bridge or whatever of that higher path, when you align yourself right up under that bridge, if someone was to go and tell you that there was a semi truck that just passed you on that bridge, like up here, right? You would say, that's ludicrous. A semi truck, number one, what are you talking about? There's not even, I don't even see past this bridge. I'm up on this bridge, right? You're going to say it's ludicrous. You can see already where I'm going, right? But if we took a higher path, right? Maybe the bridge is here and you're on the one maybe about right here. And someone told you a semi truck passed on this bridge, you'd be like, you know what? I thought I did hear something. I seen a square, or I seen a long color, like a white triangle and some red in the front because the semi truck was red, you know, and it had the white trailer in the back, right? Now, you did not see it in detail, but you saw more than you did when the bridge was here and you were down here, when you were under it. This is how literally life paths, synchronization, and angel numbers work. Literally, that's how it is. I am constantly seeing multiple repeating numbers all day, literally all the time, everywhere. I'm interested in what they're saying about them. Andra. Okay, so um, what numbers are they? Like, what are they? 444s, um, 1111s? Are they in a what you call a palindrome, like a 999? 999 usually means, okay, usually